Hello, Curious, and welcome back. It is a well-known fact that social media can be a good way to get your name out there and in some way become successful. In recent years, the popular video sharing app TikTok has helped thousands of people make a name for themselves, be it within their comedy skits, dancing, music, or expertise in some subject. And that is exactly what has happened to a former factory worker in Italy who has become one of the fastest growing content creators on TikTok. But who exactly is Khaby Lames, and how did he get started on the social media platform? What opportunities have come his way since he has started posting on the platform? And what does he hope to accomplish with the help of his account? And is this 21-year-old Senegalese creator hoping to change the laws in Italy? Stay with us until the very end to find out more about this content creator who is on everyone's lips. But before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, turn on the notifications, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. When most people think of TikTok stars, they think of a bunch of kids standing in front of a camera and doing the latest trend and dances with stars like Charli D'Amelio and Dixie D'Amelio. Kourtney Kardashian's new best friend Addison Rae comes to mind, but there's also so much more content on the app than just dancing teenagers. Many institutions and brands have also branched out onto the platform, seeing its popularity and success to reach out to a new group of clients. Though there is always a dark side to everything, and this app is no different, and the danger for the most part is due to the challenges. And if you want to know exactly what happened and why some are losing their lives because of it, you can do so by checking out our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, make sure you stay with us until the very end to learn more about this rising TikTok star. It is also no surprise that the list of the most popular content creators with the most followers on TikTok is dominated by the American market, with the other content creators from other countries' stars are starting at the number 13 of the ranking, and that would be Kimberly Loaiza from Mexico, who has 46.7 million followers. So for the most part, the top 10 is dominated by American creators. Well, all but one, and that would be the star of today's video, Khaby Lames, who at the time of making this video is currently on the third spot with 76.2 million followers, coming up behind the likes of the aforementioned Addison Rae and Charli D'Amelio. And if you want to know more about them and other TikTok stars, you can do so by checking out the TikTok Stars playlist by clicking on the link displayed above. So who exactly is Khaby, and how did he seemingly out of nowhere start topping the lists of the most followed TikTok users? Khaby Lames was born on March 9th of 2000 in Senegal, but when he was just 1 year old, his family moved to Chivasso, Italy, where he was raised in a public housing complex and where, according to the Italian press, he still lives to this day. So growing up, he played sports such as soccer and basketball, and in high school, he played in the junior level basketball championships. According to a New York Times article, the soccer team that he supports is Juventus, and from one of his most recent TikTok videos, it seems that one of his favorite basketball players is none other than LeBron James. His journey with his social media began in March of last year as he suddenly found himself with plenty of free time after he lost his job as a machine operator in a factory due to the coronavirus pandemic. And as a result of this, he moved back to his family's modest apartment. And so, despite the urging of his father to apply for other jobs, he began to spend his hours of each days posting most videos onto his TikTok account, where he goes by the handle name of Khaby Lames. Though despite that, in an interview with a Polish publication, he revealed that his parents had supported him from the very beginning, and adding that he would regularly post them in his first videos before he could boast of having millions of views, and already back then they had liked his content. And when Khaby's followers started growing, and they had congratulated him and told him that they are proud of him for doing so on his own. Then the 21-year-old had stressed that not once they had told him what he was doing was a waste of time, and was grateful for that. His decision to start posting on TikTok was because it was easy to use and didn't require any specialist equipment, plus the comedy skits that he saw other users post made him want to do the same kind of content. So, since his channel has reached such a staggering number of followers in just over a year, what kind of content does this creator make that people just seem to love so much? Well, for the most part, he has taken advantage of the apps due to the Stitch features, as well as the momentum of the viral and quite often absurdly complicated life hack videos. For example, such as using some device to hold a cherry while you pull the stem out, or somebody twisting an apple in half with their hand. And Lames would respond to these videos with wordless, easy to understand reaction clips where he would do the exact same thing but in an easy way. For example, by holding a cherry in between his fingers and pulling on the stem, or simply using a knife to cut the apple in half. And almost always he punctuates with his gag with this video equivalent of a duh punchline and extending his arms out as if to say Viola, while he gives an expressive eye roll or shakes his head. While at the start most of his videos were in Italian, his wordless expressions not only perfectly convey what he could say with words, but also amuse people. So speaking with the New York Times, he had spoken about this and said that it is his face and expressions that make people laugh as they are a global language, and experts believe that this is his way of being a universal, exasperated everyman, and that it has quickly made his following grow. Samir Chaudhry, founder of the Published Press, which converts the creator's content economy, had said that his way of debunking and mocking the overproduced trends is what appeals to audiences, as it represents authenticity over production. So it's clear to see just how much audiences appreciate that, as only back in April he had celebrated reaching 10 million followers, a number which has now grown more than 7 times of that. Internet users had also pointed out that the reason they like Khaby's content more than other creators is because they are starting to set a certain standard on how to look and what's cool, and when Lame is just a normal guy who is easy to relate to. Not to mention that his deadpan expressions are perfect for meme content, with many quickly jumping on the trend. Even brands have been using his expressions to market their content. But what changes has all of this success brought to him? Well, while at first his audiences were mainly Italian, quickly surpassing one of Italy's biggest influencers, Chiara Ferragni, in terms of followers, though soon his videos started gaining views from all around the world, even American, and this is what has helped his content get even more seen. And well-known YouTubers such as King Batch have contacted him for collaborations, and thanks to TikTok's Creators Fund, he's making some money by working with brands which, as he revealed to the New York Times, included Italian pasta maker Barilla. Celebrities and other influential people have also taken notice of his rise. Mark Zuckerberg, the chief executive of Facebook, commented a thumbs up emoji on one of his Insta posts. But with being in demand for collaborations outside of Italy, especially in the USA, has recently given Khaby some problems. While to his followers he's known as an Italian TikToker, he's not exactly actually recognized as an Italian in the country, and that is because of the lack of his citizenship, despite having lived there since he was 1 year old. And in the interview he said that it definitely is wrong, but adding that sincerely he doesn't need a piece of paper to define himself as an Italian, stressing that before he never faced any issues by not having a passport from the country, until now, as his Senegalese passport has made it tougher for him to obtain a visa to visit the United States. He is still dealing with the country's bureaucracy to try to obtain citizenship, and according to the law it is based on blood and can be earned only by the children of migrants who reach the age of 18 after living in the country since birth. And while it is possible for those not born there to get one, it just takes much longer. But the star of today's video is not giving up. In an interview he said, "I'm not a mayor, I'm no one. I can't change the laws. Maybe I can change it with the popularity, with my influence." And while he surely is well known according to him, he is more followed abroad than in Italy. He is huge in Senegal and frequently talked about on TV there. He himself has said that while he has a lot of influence on Italy, it's not acknowledged on the front pages of magazines or newspapers or other kinds of media. And while getting a visa sorted out, it is something that he's working towards. He has more content with focusing on achieving his dream, so later in life he can do something for his family. And as we mentioned at the start, Khaby grew up in a communal house, and he does not hide that. In an interview, he has touched upon the fact that most people think that others who grew up in places like that end up being criminals, and he said that his time there was a very happy one, and even his family grew up poor. The friendships he made up for it lack for the material possessions. And he also added that contrary to popular belief, racism is not something that he has dealt with a lot. And while he has experienced some, it was never anything too severe. He also revealed that since childhood he had dreamed of working in the film industry as a comedy actor, and that adding that he would be very happy if one day his career would be as successful as that of Eddie Murphy or Omar Sy, who are the TikTokers' idols, and hopes that one day he can have enough money to buy his parents a house. And he also stated that his style of comedy, where he doesn't have to speak, works for him, as he doesn't speak English. But when it comes to miming and facial expression, it's an international language that doesn't need to be translated. And so far from his success and how quickly his content grew, it's safe to say that he's right. And so curious, tell me, are you a fan of Khaby? What are your thoughts on his TikTok ideas? Do you think that the reason he's so relatable and popular is that he's an everyday man that most can relate to? And do you think that one day he can beat Charli D'Amelio as one of the most followed people on the app? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.